For Spring 2017 Tech Club, I was placed with two other teachers at Three Forks Elementary School where we had varying grade levels from 3 to 5th. At first, I was worried about the range of ages due to the varying levels of development and emotional maturity. Luckily, the group we had was mostly 4th graders and a few 3rd and 5th grade outliers. This after-school program was purely voluntary, and it showed all of the students wanted to be there and made teaching extremely enjoyable. Now, this doesn't mean that difficulties didn't occur. We had a group of about 4 boys who wanted to be at Tech Club, but were huge balls of energy and not very good at paying attention. At first, this was frustrating because how do you handle students without becoming a dictator? So we separated them, but magically they seemed to come back together. Eventually, we had to physically remind them by gently touching on their shoulder whenever they became too much to handle. Our first lesson went swimmingly. It was designed to be an introduction to the solar system where students were grouped and chose a planet to research. This lesson wasn't tech-heavy, but it still had an important background lesson. Each group was given a book about their planet and had to find most of their information in it before being given an iPad. Most students were slightly confused, but we wanted to show that facts come in varying sources, not just the internet. I noticed when observing the students, it looked almost as if they had never used a form of text to find information. Some of the books were huge encyclopedias about all the planets, and there was one group that flipped through the entire book before finding their planet. I pointed out where the index was, and many students were astonished, almost as if they had never had to use a book to research before. Luckily for the students, the next lesson was technology-driven. This lesson was created by NASA, and the students were to build rockets. Students were given a straw, a template, and instructions. Everything was going well until the students had to create a cone to finish the top of the rocket. One student, let's call her Mary, had a slight problem. She kept saying that she couldn't build the rocket and that it wouldn't work, even though she had successfully built the rocket and it worked perfectly. Mary became so frustrated that she was close to tears. For me, this was a huge learning moment because it forced me to focus on one student. I had to calm her down, see what the problem was, and I almost had her calm and relaxed. Then her mother came in, and she melted down completely. After the lesson was over, the principal of the school came over and told us Mary breaking down was a common occurrence and congratulated us for how we handled it. This was a huge boost of confidence for me personally and the group. To me, it was almost justification that I was in the right profession and I knew what I was doing. It surprises me that one little praise does so much. I feel that even after the lessons, I was still learning. The principal showed me that the smallest form of positivity can change the day entirely. Not only can positivity change your day, but so can sugar. For our last lesson, I got to write and lead it. I was nervous and scared that nothing was going to go correctly, but to my surprise, everything went well. To begin the lesson, I created a PowerPoint with an embedded video that explains the difference between chemical and physical change. As it turns out, the video I thought students would love, they absolutely hated. From what I could gather, the students didn't like the video because it was creepy. But who doesn't love a garden gnome rapping about chemical and physical change? I think this was another big learning step for me. I realized that you must know your students completely, and their likes. In Reflection, the students might have liked a country song versus rap. My time at Three Forks was one of the most thrilling yet terrifying weeks of my life. I had so many real-life experiences that I can take into the classroom when I begin teaching. In 4 little weeks, I learned how to improvise, manage a classroom, handle delicate students, and most of all, how to have fun while still learning. The Three Forks environment was one of the biggest factors to the group's success, and one day I hope to replicate it.